Today on the Rockbridge Report, flash flood warnings are in effect throughout Virginia. Find out what to expect and whether Joaquin will strike your area.
Local drug task force officials raided classrooms and the library at Washington and Lee University yesterday. Find out the latest in this ongoing investigation.
As the war in Syria continues to rage, the effects may reach all the way to Rockbridge County. We'll show you what local churches are doing to assist the refugees.
And later, they say it's nothing fancy, but a popular music festival attracted 1,000 people to Buena Vista last weekend. Next on the Rockbridge Report.
Live from the campus of Washington and Lee University with news for Rockbridge County, this is the Rockbridge Report.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Rockbridge Report. I'm Marielle Lafair.
And I'm Ford Carson. Breaking news this afternoon. Authorities say at least 7 people are dead and 20 others are injured after a shooting at a Southwest Oregon community college. The shooting happened at Umpqua Community College in Roseburg, about 180 miles south of Portland.
Weather is the big story in Virginia and along the southeast Atlantic coast. We turn to our weather anchor, Andrew Agrippina, for an update on Virginia's flood watch.
Thanks, Marielle. Rockbridge County will be under a flash flood watch from early Friday morning through Saturday evening. 2 to 5 inches of heavy rain are expected. Earlier this week, rain saturated the ground and flooded parts of the Wood Creek Trail that runs behind Washington and Lee University and VMI. On Tuesday, parts of the county experienced road closures or partial blocking, including Old Buena Vista Road, Rockbridge Road in Glasgow, Greenhouse Road in Lexington, North Lee Highway at Ryan's Court, Possum Hollow Road at Plank Road, Tankerville Road at Songbird Lane, and Maury River Road. Meanwhile, Hurricane Joaquin is churning in the Atlantic Ocean. The National Hurricane Center says it expects Joaquin to continue to strengthen. Joaquin is expected to approach the U.S. East Coast by early next week, but it's still too early to tell just how close the hurricane will get. Back over to you, Marielle.
Thank you, Andrew. Russia launched its first airstrikes in Syria today. The Russian Defense Ministry says that the strikes are targeting ISIS, but U.S. officials and members of the Syrian opposition say that these airstrikes are instead hitting both civilians and opposition fighters.
Our answer is honest and frank. President Putin and our other official representatives have said repeatedly that at the request of the Syrian government, we're helping them to fight ISIS and other terrorist groups.
Now that both Russia and a U.S.-led coalition are flying missions over Syria, leaders of both countries say that they must keep in contact with one another to avoid accidents in the area.
As the conflict in Syria continues to escalate, some refugees are hoping to come to the U.S. Local churches are looking into how they can assist in the Syrian refugee resettlement efforts. Emma Deal has more.
Last week, Secretary of State John Kerry announced the Obama administration's plan for the United States to accept 85,000 refugees from around the world next year, increasing the number per year to 100,000 by 2017 for all refugees, including Syrian. In light of this proposal, and with over 50 million displaced people throughout the world, local churches have begun to consider how to get involved. The Refugee Resettlement Working Group at R.E. Lee Memorial Episcopal Church in Lexington plans to discuss the issue with other church leaders and members of the community at their first meeting next Thursday, October 8th.
I think our church's capacity at R.E. Lee Church is only for one family. But I think this would be best handled if there was more than one Syrian family here, so they would have a small community.
Once R.E. Lee and the other churches determine how they can help, they plan to partner with the Harrisonburg chapter of Church World Service, a global immigration and refugee resettlement program. Jim Hirschberger, the program coordinator in Harrisonburg, says Church World Service has a history of supporting churches, and he is eager to collaborate with the congregations in Lexington. I think it's important for churches to continue to be involved because churches can provide friendships for people. They can provide long-term relationships with people to help refugees integrate in the community to help them become self-sufficient within the community.
we feel like it would be a great living out of the gospel to be able to welcome families who are, running from the conflict in Syria to be able to live here.
For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Emma Deal.
The local drug task force swept through parts of Rockbridge County, including Washington and Lee's campus yesterday. Tracy Smith, clerk at the Rockbridge County Circuit Court, said the sweep is connected to 164 recent indictments on various drug-related charges. Smith says 56 people in Rockbridge County are involved. Police interrupted classes at W&L looking for students on campus who may be related to the investigation. The grand jury indictments were just unsealed.
Coming up, Washington and Lee University recently built a new green space in the middle of campus. Students and visitors aren't the only ones who are benefiting from this and other projects. Construction workers and local businesses are enjoying both universities' building boom.
If you don't fix them, sparks from dragging tow chains could cause a wildfire, and that could be scary. Smokey. Only you can prevent wildfires.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
He's on his way. He doesn't even know that we're here. Is he okay? Please tell me he's okay. Laura. Okay, try to call him again.
There's no signal.
Try.
Nothing's working.
Well, just
Everything's
try.
down.
This is so bad. He's out there by himself.
Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
This weekend's opening of the new Campus Green, a landscape that connects the two first-year dormitories at Washington and Lee University, marks the conclusion of one of many construction projects in Lexington. Rachel Stone has more on the story.
For anyone who was around the campus this summer, it seemed like everywhere you moved, you were walking into a construction zone or being detoured around the construction zone.
Those hard hats could be seen throughout the city. 4 of those major projects are at W&L, and construction workers have flooded the area.
Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 120 construction jobs will be funded through these projects, with on a per year basis about $15.5 million in wages and benefits being paid.
W&L's first-year dormitory improvements, now complete, along with new university housing, an indoor swimming pool, and a center for global learning, cost just under $100 million total. McAllister said the university will spend an additional $8 million in goods and services in each of the 2 years. and about half of that will be spent within a 50-mile radius of campus.
The vast majority of the economic activity that's going on is occurring sort of locally, or at least regionally, and that's where I think we're making a big impact. The projects didn't just benefit Washington and Lee, but had benefit in the broader community as well.
The effects are similar on the north side of town. Virginia Military Institute has two major construction projects: the construction of the indoor training facility and the renovation of a cadet support facility, totaling about $120 million.
When you put 200 people into the local area, some are living in hotels, they're all eating somewhere, it's definitely going to have some impact.
Brown said that this is the largest project they've seen in a while, and they are encouraging the construction companies to use small businesses wherever possible. All of the projects at both W&L and VMI are scheduled to be completed during fall of 2016, and some sooner. For the Rockbridge Report, I'm Rachel Stone.
There's a sculpture called Free Spirit on W&L's new campus green. It was donated by the family of Kelsey Durkin, a former W&L student. Kelsey tragically died in a car accident 2 years ago. The university said the Durkins believe the rings evoke images of the Promise for Kelsey wristbands students wore after the accident.
Lexington's Main Street has just received an unlikely addition to its traditional shops and eateries. Main Street Vapes, a shop that offers all kinds of e-cigarettes, opened its doors on September 28th. E-cigarettes are battery-powered vaporizers that mimic the act of smoking but don't contain tobacco. They are thought to be a healthier alternative to cigarettes, and many longtime smokers often use them to quit smoking. Main Street Vapes is open 7 days a week.
It's been raining all week, and it looks like more is headed our way. Andrew, can you tell us a little bit more?
That's right, Marielle. We've certainly gotten a good dosage of rain, but as you can see right now, it's not too rainy. That's lightened up. We're having a pretty decent day. And if we take a look over at our current conditions today, we have a high of 60 degrees and a low at 52. We have 30 and 6/100 inches of mercury coming in, and winds blowing in from the north at about 10 miles an hour with 88% humidity. Now, if we look forward, we can see in our regional weather, we have up in Stanton 60 degrees, and it's looking cloudy. Buena Vista is at 58 degrees, looking cloudy as well. We have some rain scattered around the region, mainly cloudy and rainy days. Pretty gloomy weather, but we can look ahead to our 5-day forecast right after our satellite loop. As you can see with these darker colors along the border, they're indicating heavier rain, and as we move in, that's going to lighten up, and we're still going to have a pretty decent level of rain in our area. The closer you get to the border, the more rain you're going to get. And now if we can look ahead to the 5-day forecast, as you can see, on Friday we have a high of 54 and a low of 52, and that's going to be raining. On Saturday, high of 60, low of 55, and that rain is going to continue. Now, if we look ahead to Sunday, we have a high of 63 and a low of 54. That rain is still going, but then on Monday, the faucet is shutting off. We have a high of 66 and a low of 50, a cloudy day. And then on Tuesday, the sun's coming back out with a high of 69 and a low of 48. It's going to be a beautiful day. That's the weather. Back to you, Marielle and Ford.
Thanks, Andrew. It looks like it's going to be a pretty wet weekend. Coming up, our sports anchor Kate Boswell will review this week's top sports stories.
And later, highlights from the music festival in Buena Vista that had so many people talking last weekend.
Hi, may I please have an application? Thank you.
Skip the drama. Get your GED.
Okay.
Take that first step towards a better future and sign up for free classes now at yourged.org.
If you store your guns properly,
I'll feel safer when I'm playing outside.
Safer when walking home.
I won't have to tell so many family members. I'm sorry.
I won't hear as many scary stories.
And I won't have to tell my kids. This isn't a drill.
Please.
please.
Do it for us.
Your family, friends, and neighbors are all counting on you. Never let your gun get into the wrong hands. Remember, always, Lock it up. Visit ncpc.org.
No more pencils, no more books.
No more teachers, dirty looks.
School's out for summer.
What this place needed was better graduation rates. So we worked with schools like Henry Ford High, and now they're up 18%.
To help us do more good this year, go to unitedway.org, because great things happen when we live united.
If you want to be a parent, it doesn't matter how you play, what you wear, how you dance, or even what direction life takes you. You just need to be there. You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care don't need perfection. They just need you.
Residents of Rockbridge County no longer have to sort their plastic and metal recyclables. The county has adopted a single-stream recycling system. The new system was approved on Monday, along with 3 other changes to the waste management system. The 2 goals of the new policy are to save money and also to preserve the lining of the current landfill.
With us now is Kate Boswell to report on sports throughout the county. Hi, Kate.
Hi. Thanks, Marielle. Last Saturday, first-year runner Hank Patrick of the Washington and Lee men's cross-country team placed 3rd out of 73 runners during the Commonwealth Challenge. The Generals finished 2nd overall out of 9 teams competing at the meet, which was held at Shenandoah University. The VMI women's soccer team hosted Western Carolina over the weekend, only to drop a 5-0 decision to the visiting Catamounts. The Keydets are 0-2 in conference play and 4-7 overall this season. Over at SVU, the women's volleyball team won a close match against conference opponent Randolph College. The victory marks SVU's first win at home this season. In high school sports news, the conference golf tournaments for both Perry McClure High School and Rockbridge County High School were postponed on Monday due to rain. Both tournaments were rescheduled for today. Those are your top sports stories for the week. Now back over to you, Marielle.
Thanks, Kate. Buena Vista once again hosted the Nothing But Fancy Bluegrass Festival this weekend, as it is done on the 4th weekend of September for 15 years running. Although weather was less than ideal, fans still enjoyed themselves. Mac Trammell has more.
The 15th annual Nothing Fancy Bluegrass Festival twanged away at Glen Maury Park in Buena Vista this rainy weekend. Fans from all over came to enjoy the weekend of music alongside the Blue Ridge Mountains. Some even came from Canada.
I work a lot of festivals up in Ontario, and the bluegrass community are really friendly people.
That's Barb Duncan, an avid bluegrass enthusiast and a self-proclaimed die-hard volunteer. This was her 2nd trip down to the Nothing Fancy Festival, where she checked patrons at the gate entrance. Nothing Fancy is also the name of the bluegrass group that started the festival.
Oh, Nothing Fancy plays at a couple of our bluegrass festivals up in Ontario, and they're just such great entertainers, great people, and why not come down to Virginia, see where they all come from?
Duncan wasn't the only person working at the festival. Carolyn Rubino and her husband, Garland Utzler, printed and sold t-shirts by the stage.
Everybody gets what they want, in the color they want, in the size they want, in the style they want.
Duncan, the volunteer, said about 1,000 people showed up for the 3-day event. One of those people, Daphne Steinberg, was feeling good vibrations even on a rainy Friday afternoon.
It's just very happy, upbeat music. I've been looking around and I've been seeing people's toes.
Steinberg and her husband Gary came down from Alexandria, Virginia. Daphne enjoyed herself but wished that bluegrass could corral a younger audience.
I would just say, young people, turn on your radios, check out bluegrass music, it won't kill you, you might even enjoy it, it's fun.
Fun enough to trek all the way from Canada to Buena Vista.
Oh, I love Virginia. It's beautiful down here. Could have been a little warmer, but being from Canada, I'm kind of used to the cooler weather, but it's everybody makes you feel like home here, so it's a great place to be.
I'm Mac Trammell with the Rockbridge Report.
That's it for the Rockbridge Report. Thanks for watching.
You can stay current on the latest news in Rockbridge County by clicking on to rockbridgereport.washingtonandlee.net.